Morning everyone, Donny Walker here. I'm just going to show you a 372 XPGW of how the heater system works for your handlebar, your back grip, and the heat for the carburetor. There's several different stages that I do to check it, but I'm going to show you now how it works. And I'm doing this video for a friend of mine, Ben. Ben's a friend of mine in Vancouver, originally from England. Ben's tree service in the lower mainland of the Vancouver area. If you ever need any tree work done, give Ben's tree service a call. Good plug for you there, buddy. There's buddy out in the east coast of Canada where it's colder than here. This morning's beautiful here. You can see outside, sun's shining a bit. It's kind of light sweater day. So yeah, it's not bad. Got my Sunday clothes on to go to church in a little while. And yeah, but let's do this video. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you in so I can show you all the parts and how it actually works and how to test for if it isn't working. Most of the times on these systems is either wires broken or the elements are no good. I've hardly ever had a generator actually pack it in, and I'll show you what the generator is in a second here. I'm still hobbling along, but I'm getting better. Okay, so first of all, how it starts off is the flywheel has a magnet in it here. Okay, and this runs around this generator, which produces out so many ohms. Don't ask me how many. It's in the workshop manual, but I never really checked them for ohms or anything. I never really had to. So I'm just going to explain how it works. So the flywheel turns around as it runs, generates power to this generator. The power goes through this red power wire here to your switch. So you have a switch for the on and off of heat and handlebars here, which turns the heat onto the handlebar main handle, your rear throttle grip, and your carburetor. I've just undone the wires to the carburetor, but I'm going to explain that in a minute. So your power wire has two different red wires come off it. You got the main wire from the generator, it goes to the switch. Then the switch wire runs through your back element of the pistol grip here, and then continues up the handlebar where I've got it wired here with the red wire. Okay, so the red wire and the black wire are the ones that go to your handlebar here, and this is the ground, obviously, to the cylinder where the mount is, where it's mounted on the handlebar like that. So you have the other red wire off the generator that goes to the carburetor, which hooks to the carburetor here. And like so. Then you have your ground wire that goes to the carburetor as well. So the way the carburetor heater works, it has a thermostat right here. So this thermostat right here on the back of the carburetor senses the coldness, usually about -10, and it'll turn on. And this is the heater in the bottom here to keep your carb warm. Sometimes I've had the thermostats fail. So on the west coast here, where it usually isn't -10, I undo the wires to the carburetor and eliminate that. That gives you more heat to the handlebars, and if this does fail, at least you still have heat to your handlebars and your back grip, which is more important. So let's just eliminate the carburetor one right now, and I'll explain to you how I test it to make sure it has enough generating power to your handlebars, or it's getting to your handlebars. Okay. So first thing you want yourself is an ohm meter, and set it on to your continuity testing. So when you touch your leads together, you get a beep. Okay. So first one I'm going to check from the generator to the switch. Okay, this is how I make sure I know I don't have a broken wire, because this wire that runs from the generator here to the switch sometimes will get tore. Okay, and then it won't work. And when you do put this cover back on over this area, make sure that wire is laying in that little channel here, so you don't pinch that wire and wreck it. I've seen people when they rebuild saws do not do that properly. So let's get back to testing the generator to the switch to make sure our wire is good. So we'll put the ground on the generator and our power wire to the switch. Beep, beep. We know we're good there. Now, let's check our switch. Okay. That's because it's on the on position. Let's go off position. And it still will work. Okay? Now if I go to test the switch now, I'm going to just undo the wire off the switch, both wires, and put my leads on the switch. That's an O position, which is off, no beep. On position, beep. So we know our switch is good. So let's hook our switch back up. Then we're going to check our wire between our back element in the pistol grip to the handlebar wire. Make sure that a wire in this area isn't broken. So we'll undo the switch wire from the handlebar, or the power wire to the handlebar, I should say. We'll put our lead on that one that goes to the handlebar, then our one coming out of the element. Okay, we got power there. So there's no broken wires in here, and hopefully the element was working. That's where you do an ohms test to see if the elements are actually working. Okay, so we know we're getting power from our switch, from our back element to the handlebar. So if it's still, you're not getting heat, and you've eliminated that the switch is good, your generator is good, your wires are good, now you want to check the handlebar. Sometimes the handlebars will get bent or cut, and it'll wreck the element inside the handlebar here, and it won't give you heat anymore. But you can simply check the wire to make sure it's got continuity. Okay, that's good. So if that didn't give me the beep, we know there's a wire broken here, or the element's broken, okay? That's about usually the only problems I ever have with handlebar heaters are broken wires or a broken element in the handlebar. Hardly ever the generator gives you a problem unless these bolts come loose and the thing starts rubbing against the flywheel. I've seen that happen, but that's on a saw that's ran for a long time, or someone didn't put it together right and use Loctite on these bolts. Some 372s, if they are machined and drilled for the holes for the generator, you can add heat to a saw. But when you buy them, it's only about $100 more to buy a heated saw over a non-heated saw. To add this system, it costs close to $400 or more. It's a bit ridiculous. So if you're going to have a heated saw, buy one that's heated already. So those are your most common problems, is either this negative wire on the spring mount on the cylinder has come off because the guy's tugging on it and it comes off, or a wire is undone in the switch area, or simply a wire is broken inside. You know, like to test a wire, we just checked it, you know, with the ohmmeter, but sometimes as a wire gets stretched and moved, it'll still touch and give you a reading, but as you pull on the saw or whatever, it might tug it, and then you can feel that it's spongy inside. You know the heat's not going to work. So hopefully that helps you. Heated handlebars are a real good thing here on the coast when it's rainy, coldy, windy, snowy. You can't beat it. There's also a snow cover you can put on the starter that stops snow from coming in there. And you can also take off your air injection tube jet here, which they give you another one from Husky. It's a blue colored, and it blows the air across the cylinder and out instead of blowing any hot air into the, or cold air or snow into your carburetor, okay? So it's getting heat off the cylinder into the carburetor with that tube setup. Other than that, yeah, there's no windows in the covers or anything like that. And it's good to use the nylon filter, the black and white mesh type one, not the furry flock one in the winter. That's what they're designed for. Winter filters are nylon, and summer and extreme filters are the flock type furry ones. Okay, so hopefully that helped you out there, Ben's friend. Yeah, so check your wires. Like I just showed you, eliminate the car one if you want, by simply undo them and let them dangle there. Or you might have to go a little farther and check your generator and stuff, but do the basic checks like that and your hands will be warm and nice. Early days of logging on the West Coast here, my dad used to run a real small thin pipe and run it from the exhaust through the handlebars of old McCulloughs and Stills and whatnot to get them heated up, but you had no way to control it. But I do remember seeing some saws years ago from Partner. Partner had like a valve on here, and you could move this valve and run the exhaust through the handlebars, or if you didn't want it to run through, you shut the valve off. I forget what models they were, but you know, obviously in Europe it's very cold there, so they like to have heated saws there. Anyways, it's Sunday. It's time to head to Nanaimo now and do some stuff at my parents and hit a little meeting and keep your saw new. It's sticky nice, rubbing road. Your hands warm in the winter, and it'll help your circulation really good too. I got bad hands, but I take supplements for it. It kind of helps me. But some guys, you know, when they got bad hands, if they don't have heated handlebars or a husqvarna to run that's so smooth, or some of the new stills that run a lot smoother than their old ones as well. I'm not knocking any companies. We just know that guys that do have bad hands would predominantly run Huskies years ago along the coast here. But the heated handlebars definitely make a huge difference for your circulation. A lot of guys don't even use gloves, so some guys, you know, if they don't have gloves, it definitely is a big thing as well. So anyways, keep sawing with sticky nice, rubbing around. Have a great Sunday. Get out, enjoy the weather. Go out and cut some wood or do whatever. Bye now.